Hey Aquarius, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a timeless reading for you, asking the cards what's coming towards you, what do you need to know about. We're going to start with an oracle deck. This is the Mudra deck. Each card has a different hand gesture that you can do in prayer and manifestation of the message attached. If you'd like for me to pray for you, if you'd like everybody else to join in as well, say hi in the comments section. It gives us something that we can focus on that represents you. And if you're a little shy like myself, you can even leave an emoji. Let's see what comes out for you. What I like about this deck, and I've said this before, is that it gives you something in the physical realm that you can do within your control that represents prayer. Wow, what a perfect little message. This is love. And so it's an interesting mudra. You tuck your pointer finger in, and then you kind of sandwich together, interesting term, sandwich together your middle finger and your ring finger, and you leave the pinkies out. So interesting. It says, be kind. In the beauty and perfection of a single rose, I receive an insight into the wisdom and wealth of the universe. I like to say, and it's a good reminder, especially now, like the best way to rebel is through kindness and love. We're going into some strange times and we're triggered every day. You just turn on your phone or your TV and you can be triggered, but you get a choice. The heart mudra helps to deal with all kinds of heart conditions, so these also relate to the body. In acute cases, maintain the mudra as long as necessary. For chronic conditions, perform it 4 times daily for about 10 minutes. The color red is good for the heart. Visualize a bunch of red roses, of which you give away all but one. Now immerse yourself in the glory of this one bloom and use all your senses to become fully aware of it. Allow yourself to be enchanted by its beauty. Perhaps the rose fairy has a message for you, so listen carefully. All right, you guys, we're going to get a message from the Divine Feather Messenger deck. If you have not yet, I thank you so much for hitting the like button. It allows all these other Aquarians to see the video, pops it up in the algorithm. Whoa, you got 3 messages. Let's go with it. We don't ever get 3 messages fly out. We have the message, release what you've been carrying and lighten up. New joy is on its way. We've got a theme popping out. The power of the divine grace is within you. And finally, pay attention! Exclamation point. A powerful message is being communicated to you now. This is going to be interesting. All right, Aquarians. I want to take a second to thank you for all the likes and the comments, the shares. I love reading your comments. I love praying for you. It helps give my life purpose as well. It's all good. It's all love. It's all light. Okay, what's coming towards Aquarius? What do they need to be aware of? Flipping but not flying. We've got the 5 of Wands. We'll keep that in mind. They have to fly out for us to include them in the reading, and we respect where they lie. So if they fly in reverse, that's how we read them. We have the Queen of Wands, the 8 of Swords. We have the World card, the 10 of Swords upside down, which is a great card to get upside down. The Knight of Wands upside down. Just a bit of clarity, and then we will move forward. And then the 10 of Swords, please. The World, please. And okay, so this is going to be an extended. So if you guys like to go deeper into the reading and you like to get advice, follow me over there after this reading is through, and it's a link in the description box below. So I just want to say that before I forget it. We used to have this interesting reading starting out with the Knight of Wands upside down. And this seems to be an action of impulse. This is something that when the Knight of Wands is upside down, it's talking about somebody who is, either you or somebody else, who has acted from too much of an impulsive place. This might have something to do with something they posted online or they've read online. With the Page of Swords, that can sometimes talk about news, gossip, things we hear circulating on social forums. But we do have the 6 of Wands there, which is victory. And that is a very interesting, what it feels like is somebody's acted out of impulse and in their communications. But there is a victory over here. It'll be interesting to get another card out on that, because there is a contradiction of energies there. So we have the Ten of Swords upside down. This means that you're coming out of a disappointment around maybe an argument or an ending somehow. My nose started itching right there, so I pay attention when that happens. It moves things forward. It seems like there is a little bit of, this is a bittersweet reading so far. My nose is going crazy. Sorry, it happens when I need to pay attention. There's a bittersweetness here. There's something connected to that impulsivity. It does move things forward. We have the World card talking about ending a chapter, a sense of reciprocity, a balance act. I think this almost has a feeling, we don't have the Justice card out, but there's this voice in my head that's like, you get what you asked for, or you had it coming. And it almost feels like you're saying it to somebody else. We got the Queen of Wands, Two of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. This almost feels like you do something that feels justified. It feels like it makes things okay, like fair and balanced again. Like you stood up for yourself or something. This has a righteous energy to it. It's funny that you got your Oracle card right here. Love, be kind, reminding you. Love, be kind. New deck. Let's just open this up a little bit more. What an interesting blend of, and my nose is just going nuts. What an interesting blend of energies. What's this Eight of Swords? We have not asked about the Eight of Swords yet. It's the one card that remains a mystery. Leaving something behind in order to pick up pace, move forward really quickly, making progress really quickly, getting out of a stuck position. It feels like you stuck up for yourself. You know, it feels like I think some of you guys are stating where you're at, like an opinion or a view. That's what I mean by where you're at. And you're making your broadcast, okay, seriously, you're broadcasting it to the world, AKA the world. That's very extreme sounding, but you're like making it known by putting it on your social media or something. And you're kind of in this place of, I'm giving you an example, but it really feels something like this. And it's kind of like where you're like, you know what? If people aren't okay with it, then at least I know where I stand and where they stand. And I just want the people that I connect with to be around me. But there's an internal story that's going on here. And it's somehow getting you unstuck from maybe a feeling of being boxed in by other people's approval. Maybe a feeling of, maybe you're afraid that, man, if you speak your piece, you're going to get retaliation. So you get to a point where you do something about it, but that impulse is not always a good thing. I just want to double check on that Knight of Wands upside down, because okay. You know that feeling when you just can't stand a cycle, a pattern anymore? The cards are just, okay, let's just listen. You know when you can't stand a cycle anymore, a pattern of behavior or anything, and you're just like, you just do something to break the pattern, just something to break the mold. It's that feeling of just, this has gone on too long. The reason why that impulse is coming forward is because it almost feels like it takes something, just a big burst of energy, to just break this cycle. It reminds me of, did any of you guys, when you were little, do you ever get scared in the dark and you'd convince yourself there's a monster in the room? I'm outing myself. Yes, this was me. But I think it was you too. Raise your hand. Did you have this experience? So you would hide under your blankets. And so you're breathing and trying to fall asleep, but you can't fall asleep because you're scared and you're in the dark of your blankets and it's getting too hot and you're getting sweaty and You feel like you're running out of oxygen. Finally, you can barely handle it anymore. You're just too uncomfortable that at that point, you really don't care if the monster eats you. You just need a breath of fresh air, and you kick off the covers. And that relief and that fresh air is so worth it that in that moment, you don't care anymore. So what seems like an irresponsible move is kind of your desperate attempt, and successfully, to break through something that I think it was almost like hive mind. It was keeping you stuck. It was keeping you contained. And for some of you guys, this did have something to do with hive mind opinions, the big group opinion. That's the Hierophant over here. It was keeping you slowed down and stuck. And even though maybe you had everybody convinced, you need to do it for yourself. For some of you guys, it wasn't within a big, huge group of people and groupthink, but it's still something you had to do to get unstuck. Really interesting. I will hand it to you, Aquarius. You guys have 1 foot always in the future. You guys are out there as the inventors, the experimenters, so it's really important that Aquarians are not contained. I'm a Pisces, I get it. I'm on a different context. We need to swim around and all that, but y'all need to be free. And conceptually, your ideas need to be free. So hive mind groupthink is a great thing for an Aquarius to observe. But it's also not something that it's going to tie you down if you have to limit yourself to it. Because the world and this experience is so sacred, being in this container, this body, and exploring the world from this context. I mean, the sky's the limit, so to speak. You need to think big thoughts. You need to experiment and find out what you like, what you don't like. So this feels justified, kind of circles back to that justified feeling. I will say that there is absolutely success here if what your goal was is to move forward, is to get this wheel going again. There is a sense regarding this ending, this Ten of Swords, if there was an ending for any of you guys that was quick and maybe felt rough, maybe even sudden, or there was sabotage attached or something, you're really coming out of it, because this moving forward, your life progressing forward is so much better. It's really like, okay, maybe the monster did eat just an arm, but I got fresh air, to go deeper into that metaphor. So there's success here as far as moving forward. There's also this sense of putting down a burden, the 10 of Wands, putting down kind of an exhausting chapter and opening that world up again to you. So there might even be travel attached to this possibility. There might be even communications with people who are different from you, from different cultures or different countries. But there's something that's balancing now for the first time. In closing this chapter, you're going to feel more balanced. So I'm going to carry this on over to the extended. If you'd like to come along with me, it's about the price of a cup of coffee. The link is in the description box below. If this is where I leave you, I adore you. Thank you so much for joining me here. Take good care.